Sponsored by 666bet.com.
Eubank Cassius IFL team in association with Macklin Gym Mub and 666bet. We're at their XL Arena here. This is a post-show interview with Frank Warren. Well, let's start with Billy Joe Saunders and Chris Eubank. It was a great fight and Billy won it by a tight split decision. What did you make of the fight, Frank?
I thought it was a good fight. It started, Bill controlled the sort of, in my opinion, the first 5 rounds, and then Chris got back into it. But and it become very, very competitive fight then. Obviously, I always felt Bill would have too much experience for him, and that proved to be the case. But Chris Eubank Jr. showed a lot of heart at the end. He was trying hard to, he wanted to win the fight. But I thought Bill won it, and I thought Bill won it by 1-2 rounds at the end. But it was a cracking fight for the fans. Cracking fight for the fans.
Would you have argued with a Eubank win or a draw even in that fight?
Yeah, I would have. I thought he'd done enough to win. I thought he won the. He won a lot of the. He won most of the early rounds. I gave him the first 5 rounds.
Obviously, moving forward now, Frank, we know that it'll become mandatory for the WBO middleweight title. How quick are you going to try and push this for next year?
Well, I mean, the winner's got to fight him, so it's not a question of pushing him. That's what's got to happen. And hopefully, Bill wins the title, and what a great first defence it would be a rematch.
Is that what the plan is?
Well, if that's what we could do, then I'm certain that was what we could do. It would be great for the fans.
Yeah. What did you make of the heavyweight contest between Fury and Chisora? Slightly anticlimactic?
Big anticlimax. It's very one-sided. Dereck just didn't get into it. He couldn't get his distance. He couldn't get his shots off. And Tyson, just basically controlled the fight. And the first round was exactly the same as the 10th round. There was no difference in every round. That's how it was. Dereck just couldn't get going. Couldn't get into it.
Where does Dereck go from here now? Another defeat?
Talk about it. I mean, it's not the end of the world and styles and whatever, all that stuff. But I thought the crowd, sometimes I thought the crowd's a little bit harsh with the booing. I mean, it wasn't the most exciting fight in the world, as you say, it wasn't actually climax. But Dereck, as much as he could, tried, and he got, he got to look at his face. I mean, it wasn't like he was in there and he was not he's like swallowing it or anything. I mean, the guys are got a fighting hard, but unfortunately just could not get his shots going. I think the size was a big factor in the fight for him. When he was throwing shots to the body like the referee stopped the fight a couple of times because he said his shots were below the belt. But when you look at the size of it, the size of Tyson, but best man won, best man done the right job, and
and also Frankie Gavin taking away Bradley Skeet's unbeaten record tonight. What did you make of that fight?
I thought it started off like a chess match. Styles again with the fight. They were conflicting styles. At the end of the day, can't hear what I'm saying. The styles at the end of the day, the styles made the fight what it was, but I thought it was very competitive, and I thought that Frank did enough to win it.
I mean, the crowd here,
and it's not the end of the world for Bradley Skeet.
No, first defeat as a professional, I'm sure he will.
But it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, of course.
You learn from fights like that. It's not, it's not like he's got knocked out or anything. I mean, it was very competitive, very, very competitive fight.
Crowd here, I mean, people were wondering whether this was going to sell out tonight. You couldn't see space, let alone a seat here.
I told you we'd sell it out.
Incredible crowd.
We've done it, and we worked hard at it, all of it. The press, all the media helped, and there were good fights. The fighters all done their bit. I thought young Mitchell done a great job. He was a tough guy, that guy he fought.
Yeah.
And I thought he banged his hand up in the first round, which was a shame. But he's a good little fighter, and I like him. And I think he's going to go places. And Liam Walsh is back, got the rust out of his system, and you think that was his first fight for a long while, and it was a tough fight to come back to, but he done well as well. I mean, I thought it was all good night for all the guys.
I can speak about this with you now. Again, when you first announced the card, people were saying, are these all fights going to happen? Well, tonight they did all happen. Everything you planned for this card did happen tonight, and didn't have any hiccups like in the first in the show in Manchester. when you had them issues with that. But tonight everything's gone.
You can't legislate for injuries. An injury happens. I mean, you look at football. Poor old Jack Wilshere's out, injured again. That happens, but it's the team game. With boxing, somebody gets injured, and it can ruin the card. The fights are always on. All this crap that goes out, that's from people who want it to be like that. And how can that be for the good of the game? What we need for boxing is, we need the fights to happen. We need it to be exciting because that's what it's all about. And we did prove it. And as much as our so-called rivals, they were the ones putting out a lot of the rumours, as you well know. And as always, they would prove to be liars.
All right. Well, listen, Frank. Obviously, your son Francis got a show in Sheffield next week
with Dennis,
for Flanagan and Dennis Hobson. Yeah, obviously.
Which is a great fight.
Yeah.
Great fight. And depending what happens with Crawford tonight, Crawford wins, he's going up a weight, then that'll be a final eliminator.
Very interesting.
Fingers crossed.
Very interesting. What's your first show back in the new year, Frank?
We're going to be at the we'll have a small one, but then the first big one will be on February 28th, and that'll be at the O2 in London.
Really?
Yeah. So most of the guys who fought on here will fight on that show.
Do we expect a similar kind of card to?
Of course. Of course. All the guys who fought here and the losers, they'll all be on.
Yeah. And Arsenal won today as well.
I mean they got there at the end, didn't they? It's a little bit hairy at the last.
2 clean sheets in a week. Whatever's going on.
What's going? I mean, tell me about it. Yeah. So we're getting there. We've got a tough game in the week, Southampton.
Absolutely, Frank. Thanks for giving us a little bit of time, and
as always, mate.
Thanks for all your time this week as well.
Brilliant. Thanks for all the help.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Cheers, Frank.
The Big Fight, sponsored by 666bet.com.